What's good with y'all? I know it's been a minute since I came back with my analysis. Didn't really do a pregame analysis for Game 3 because I guess everybody figured that Lakers would dominate and go up 3-0. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of figured that would be the case. Miami did show me some things. They did show me some things. But I want to jump into something that's real interesting that I think happened that really had an effect on the game. And that was Anthony Davis wants that Finals MVP. He wants it so much that he will make it detrimental to the rest of his teammates trying to get it. And I'm going to show you one good example of it, even though there's other examples throughout the game. But I just want to show you one good example of that. So if you think about it, going into Game 3, I want to say, LeBron was averaging 29 a game. AD was averaging 33 a game. So AD was only averaging 4 points more a game than LeBron, but yet everybody was saying AD was carrying LeBron. But then if you look at rebounds, LeBron was averaging 11 rebounds. AD was averaging 11.5 rebounds. So even as the front court player, AD was only averaging a half a rebound a game more than LeBron. But then if you look at the assists per game, LeBron was averaging 9 assists a game compared to AD 3 assists a game. So that's 6 more assists per game, which gives you at least a minimum of 12 points more per game. So his value was probably more in the eyes of who would be the Finals MVP voters because that is a great amount of assists per game, and AD was only averaging 4 points more a game than LeBron and only 0.5 of a rebound more than LeBron. Also, AD was averaging a block and a half. LeBron was still getting you a block, but LeBron was averaging a steal and a half a game to AD only, I believe, 0.5 steals. So, nonetheless, I want to really get into it so you guys can see the examples of what I'm talking about as far as AD and LeBron, AD trying to win that Finals MVP over LeBron. So let's just take a look at that. Okay, so what I've been trying to tell everybody is they want to make this into a race of who's going to be the Finals MVP with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And what I saw, it had a detrimental effect on the last game because I feel like Anthony Davis is too busy trying to be the Finals MVP and not let LeBron James do his thing. Because LeBron always going to make the right basketball play every time. And see, Anthony Davis is only averaging 4 points a game more than LeBron James at this point after the first 2 games. Now, after Game 3, egg he laid, he's averaging less. But anyway, my point is, a lot of those points that he get comes off assists from LeBron James because LeBron James is unselfish. As you can see in this play right here, check this out. Now, we got LeBron coming up the floor. Okay, he's surveying the floor like the great champion point guard that he is. He's surveying, he's looking around, he's like, okay, what play we going to make? Okay, we're going to set up AD on the post. Okay, KCP, let's get it in to AD. Let's get it in to AD. So he get it in to AD. KCP clears out. Okay, the weak side helpers over here with Dwight. Now, okay, all eyes are still kind of focused on AD and LeBron. LeBron is wide open. Pass the ball. He's wide open, but instead you're forcing the action, turnover. That's my whole point right here. Another thing that I noticed is, too, that Anthony Davis' selfish play also led to irregular substitutions as well because his poor play in, turning the ball over as well as early foul trouble. But what I did notice is typically AD will stay in the game the entire first quarter, especially in the playoffs. He will stay in the game the entire first quarter, and LeBron normally goes to the bench probably with 4 to 5 minutes left in the first quarter. That way he gets a break. He may come in at the end of the first quarter, depending on the gameplay situation, maybe to finish out the quarter or for a defensive assignment or something of that nature. But typically he gets that rest at the end of the first quarter and comes back in the second quarter with the second unit. That way AD plays some with the second unit at the end of the first. Then LeBron comes in and plays with the second unit in the second quarter until AD normally comes back in around that 7-minute mark. Then LeBron would typically get his break from that 7-minute mark down to maybe the 4 or 5 minute mark of the second quarter, depending on TV timeouts and commercial timeouts and things of that nature on how much rest he can get. But with the play that I just showed you with Anthony Davis, just not making the proper basketball play and passing it out to his wide open teammate because he doesn't want LeBron to get the Finals MVP. I don't know what it is. Why is he forcing the issue? I know it's not a matter of trust because LeBron James is clearly capable of knocking down an open three-pointer. But nonetheless, as you can see right here, when Anthony Davis was in with the second unit and LeBron was on the bench, the score was 21-9. And then once LeBron James came in, we could take a look and see once LeBron came in and AD goes to the bench, as you can see, by the time Anthony Davis comes back in, then basically the lead is almost negated. But people want to say that Anthony Davis is the one carrying this team. Well, I'm going to beg to differ because he is not carrying the team, because you can clearly see that once LeBron James come back into the game, and AD goes to sit down, it is LeBron James who brings the Lakers back. And that's one of the points I'm trying to make. Now, as you can see, by the time Anthony Davis came back into the game, the Lakers had went on a 20-8 run since 3:28 of the first quarter. Now, do you see the effect that LeBron James has on the team? While everybody out here saying that this is Anthony Davis' team, I hate to tell y'all, this is LeBron James' team. So what Anthony Davis needs to do this game tonight is not trying to win the Finals MVP and just go out and make the smart basketball play that he needs to make every time the same way that LeBron James does. It's that simple. It's that simple, AD. We don't need you trying to go out being hero. And I know they say AD is not jealous of LeBron and vice versa, but I mean, it's going to happen when you got two alpha males. It's going to happen anytime on the basketball court. Sometimes, everybody says team first. And another thing I want to talk about is everybody saying LeBron walked off the court. Come on, he clearly stood over there and looked as the time was expiring. He thought it was over, and then he walked off. But did you notice Kuzma was right in front of him? Now, I know LeBron is the leader of the team, but don't act like anybody else never walked off the court before. Kobe walked off the court against the Grizzlies when he was upset, and there's video evidence of that. But nonetheless, who cares? Shit, if you mad about losing, then you want to see that spirit. Then if he stay around and shake hands, then what you gonna say? Oh, he's too much of a sportsman. He doesn't hate his opponent. Man, out of here with that. Y'all pick and choose on what you want. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is gonna carry his team tonight to that third victory. I got to give mad props to Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler did his thing. Jimmy Butler is one of my top 5 favorite players in the league, right behind LeBron and Ja Morant. But nonetheless, Jimmy Buckets will get you those buckets. He will get people involved. And I must say he had a hell of a game. So mad props to him, especially being down with Goran Dragic. I think actually with Bam being out, it's actually allowing them to spread the floor more. Where, Jimmy Butler can get into the lane one-on-one and get easy assists because we don't have Bam Adebayo clogging the paint. If he was in the game, then Dwight Howard would be doing the same. I'm looking for Frank Vogel to make adjustments like he did with Houston and kind of spread the floor and not start Dwight Howard tonight, even though I know AD hates playing center. Like I said in my first video before we previewed the series, I think AD would better fit in this series playing center because even with Bam in, that would bring him out of the paint to allow for more penetration and LeBron James to penetrate and then kick out to open defenders. But nonetheless, I'm going to predict a game tonight to where the Lakers are still going to win by at least 8 or 9 points. But I'll give you more of a pregame analysis later this evening. So this is B New once again saying right on to the real, death to the fakers. AD, get yourself together tonight, bro. Come on. Team first, baby. Together, everyone achieves more. Again, right on to the real and death to the fakers. I'm out.